here to tell you all about what it was like making the movie and share some super cool facts about space.
So pull up a chair and get ready to learn all about it in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off! It takes a lot of training to balance your chi. That's why I did a lot of yoga to prepare for breaking free of Earth's gravity. It looks like we were actually flying in space, but that's the magic of special effects. You may think we blasted off, but all of our scenes in space were filmed in front of a green screen. A green screen is simply when a wall behind all the action is bright green. See? After the scene is filmed, the visual effects department uses computers to replace the green background with whatever background they want. In this case, a lunar landscape. Without their hard work, we couldn't have become space buddies.
Wow, the moon.
Buddies, are you ready to go for the walk of your lives?
In this shot, we appear to join our new pal Sputnik for a walk on the moon. But we really are right here on Earth.
Whoa, wait a minute, Doc. Everybody told me we were really in space. What about when we were floating with that zero-grav stuff? What's happening?
That's where wires come in. We had to learn to balance in midair, supported by strong wires attached to our spacesuits. Spending all that time off the ground was very enlightening and a lot of fun.
This is incredible. You can say that again. Even I'm lighter than a feather.
But our preparation for Space Buddies was nothing compared to the rigorous training real astronauts go through. While we were simulating weightlessness using wires, astronauts are set up in an airplane nicknamed the Weightless Wonder, or the Vomit Comet, for those who lose their lunch.
Lunch is a terrible thing to lose. I'll skip that ride, thank you very much.
It's not just a ride, Butterball. They do it so the astronaut can practice floating and other zero-G maneuvers without going all the way to outer space. Another way to train for lack of gravity is not in the air, but underwater. This environment allows astronauts to practice procedures in conditions very similar to weightlessness.
You mean you've got to take a bath to be an astronaut?
These procedures include practicing a spacewalk to repair problems outside the shuttle, just like Butterball did in the movie.
Oh, sweet mama. This is beautiful.
That's just a small part of the training. All in all, it takes almost 2 years to become officially ready to hop into a spacesuit. And speaking of spacesuits, check out the flag here.
Oh my gosh, these outfits are so to die for. Okay, let's talk about fashion that's out of this world. One of my favorite things about our new movie was the spacesuits we got to wear. Will one of you boys zip me up? We had some of the best costume designers around, and they knew a thing or two about space glamour. They wanted to make them practical for us puppies, but also have them be totally fashionable for space. The pink one definitely suits me best. I mean, just look at how it matches my bow. Plus, pink is the hot color this season. This is more like it. The blue suit goes with pretty much anything, and really brought out the dogmanaut in all of us buddies.
Mine's a little too tight. Someone give me a paw.
Don't pull his paw! Sputnik was definitely working his orange spacesuit, and he even got this adorable matching hat to wear. Very chic. The first American spacesuits were based on the suits the pilots in jet aircrafts, because astronauts needed to be able to move around while wearing them. These first suits were very bulky, and some weighed about 250 pounds. That's not too bad in space, though, because everything is weightless. And they wear a backpack called an Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or EMU for short. It's not designer labeled, but without it, they wouldn't be able to breathe. With the life support backpack, they have enough air and water for 6 to 8 hours. Though I don't recommend powering it on your own emissions.
I don't know what you guys are always complaining about. It's really not that bad.
Now, where was I? Oh, space fashion, much like real fashion, has gone through a lot of changes since the first space explorers. Spacesuit designers like NASA's Amy Ross, daughter of astronaut Jerry Ross, came up with new innovations that will be used on future missions. Like the new gloves Amy helped design for spacewalks. Her job is totally awesome. She not only makes the suits, but gets to try them out. Amy hopes to see a suit she envisioned on the surface of Mars someday. You go, girl. I think we're getting further and further away from home.
And further away from dinner. You can eat all you want in space and still be weightless. At least that's what they tell me. I know that I ate everything but the kitchen sink on this set, and I pretty much felt the weight of all of it. That's for sure. Our ship on Space Buddies had some very high-tech gizmos on it. But the best, in my opinion, was the Lunch-O-Matic. It's a pup's dream come true.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, there's cake. Ooh, donut. But I think I'll start with the chili cheese dog, then steak, and finish with a bean burrito. If you're looking for a snack, you just press your paw to the screen, and in a second, you've got a bean burrito, chili dog, or whatever you want. Sure, it doesn't quite look like the real thing, because it's freeze-dried. But believe me, it tastes like it. All the flavors of a chili dog, plus added nutrients to make a growing pup strong. From the earliest space missions to the current menu on the International Space Station, space cuisine has changed a lot. John Glenn, the first astronaut to orbit the Earth, was also the first to experiment with eating in the weightlessness of space. He found swallowing to be no problem, but getting the food to his mouth was a different story, because of zero gravity.
Sounds like that job is right up your alley, bro. You've never had a problem getting food to your mouth.
Nowadays, an astronaut's menu has a lot of food that we have down on Earth, like brownies or macaroni and cheese. Sweet mama. But no matter what they're eating, it's important for astronauts to keep healthy. Sure, it would be great to just eat junk food all the time in space, but it's even more important to get your vitamins and exercise.
Yo, dog, the only exercise I've seen you do is run into the fridge.
You calling me fat? Mom says that I'm just big boned. Where's the beef? Anyway, when you're up in space, your bones and muscles can get weak from hardly being used, because you're always floating. Astronauts run on a special treadmill with straps attached to them to keep them from floating away, as well as other exercises every day to keep their bones and muscles strong.
Whoa, it's amazing.
I would have blinged it out a little more. In space, your ride has gotta be super fly, yo. So when I found out we were blasting off for our next adventure, I had to make sure our ship was going to be blinged out. Guys, I think we might be going on a road trip. Yo, my production peep designed the look of the Vision 1.
Ignition.
But I wanted to make sure it looked tight.
we're moving!
Being the fastest pup around, I had to know what was under the hood. Because escaping the Earth's atmosphere takes speeds of thousands and thousands of miles per hour. That was a radical ride. It's all good, though. There's no speed limit in space.
Atlantis, Houston, go at throttle up. Go at throttle up.
3 engines on board back at full throttle. Atlantis now traveling more than 1,000 miles per hour.
It's not just what you got on the outside of your ride, though. You need some fly stuff on the inside. I was like, dogs, where's the hot tub go? I guess hot tubs don't work in a weightless environment. I did get to wear some slick shades that they call vector glasses.
Dude, you shouldn't be touching those.
They weren't just for style, though. They helped me pilot the ship.
Whoa, weird.
I've got mad piloting skills, dogs.
I don't know about mad, but my stomach certainly wasn't happy.
Now, space rides have come a long way, and it all started in 1957 when the Soviet Union launched a satellite called Sputnik.
The name's Sputnik.
That must be where our new friend Sputnik got his name.
But shizzle, bro. That started what's called the space race, a race that took nearly 20 years to finish. On July 21st, 1969, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first people to do the moonwalk.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Gotta give mad props to them. Back in those days, the astronauts would ditch most of the spacecraft's parts on the trip and would end up with only a capsule about the size of a car. That would fall back down to Earth and land in the ocean. This was called the splashdown.
Sounds like it should be a ride over at Disneyland.
And in 1981, the U.S. Space Agency started using the Space Shuttle, which is still used today. Unlike older space rides, this one landed like an airplane and could be reused for another trip. That's pretty fly, yo. But these days, NASA isn't the only ones blinging out rides for space travel. Soon, thanks to commercial space companies, we might all get to do the moonwalk for reals.
Check it. I'm doing the moonwalk. Dudes, I'm here to tell you how we went green in space. We may have traveled into space in this adventure, but Earth is still my favorite place to be. It's where all the mud is. All the space dudes think Earth's great too, and they want to make sure it stays that way. Dudes, what is this place?
Whatever it is, it's getting closer.
On our way to the moon, we made a stop at this gnarly space station run by a wacky Russian named Yuri.
American Blue Jeans, Godzilla, how are you?
Yuri had this radical garden where he made his own oxygen and food. He's a vegan, just like Buddha.
The added benefit is the plants filter out CO2 gas and produce oxygen. And we also use them to create fuel for the station.
You can think of a spacecraft like its own ecosystem, just like Earth. So it's all about sustainability, which means taking what we need to live without using up all the natural resources. Soon, we'll try to go further than we've ever gone in space, to other planets and beyond. And we'll need to be able to grow fruits and vegetables in outer space, so astronauts can stay healthy.
Yeah, if you like broccoli. Ugh, we need to grow some chili dogs.
The biggest challenge for me, though, is the lack of dirt. What's up with that?
Come on, Mudbud, we gotta go.
Oh yeah, much better. Did you know one thing space explorers are looking for is mud? Really, they're looking for any signs of water. They even thought there might be some on the moon, but could never find any. So they turned their attention to Mars.
Mars? Aren't there, like, Martians there?
Not that anyone has found yet, B-Dog. The science dudes think if they can find water, that'll mean the planet could support other life forms like us. Whoa, what a concept, dudes. Wouldn't it be cool to roll around in some Martian mud? Maybe someday we will. In the meantime, thanks for blasting off with us, buddies. We sure had fun. For now, keep green and keep watching the stars, dudes and dudettes.
Yes! We're home!